Is it a good time to be playing Liverpool in that they haven't got everything together yet, and it's looking like they're going to get Isak as well? Haven't won there for if we could get a win
2012.
there. And is that how long? Yeah, you're right.
If you could just erase the Eze signing from your mind and think about Liverpool this Sunday, it's peak. No Saka, we haven't signed Eze. We're struggling here.
If we win the league or Champions League this season, we want to see Robbie and Turkish do a skydive. Deal?
No deal.
Gunners Unfiltered. Hi, and welcome along to another episode of Gunners Unfiltered with my man Turkish LDN in the building. First of all, before we even get into anything, I've been away for a couple of days, right? Bro, that Man United result.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, Grimsby. And the thing is about it, right, is that Grimsby played them off the park. That's the thing about, listen, giant killings can happen. Can happen, man. Like, we've been on the back end of it. Everybody has over the years. It's real shock. But that one was different. They got outplayed.
80 minutes.
Right? And I was like, wow. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then when Amorim was there, when the penalties was going on, and he's,
Did you see the meme where he's billing it? That was...
That's one of the best memes I've seen for years, man. I'm telling you. Honestly, it's like you go away for a couple of days, a lot's happening in football. But, of course, the big one is this weekend.
Massive.
Liverpool versus Arsenal. Of course, they had a game on Monday. How they won that game, I don't know, right? I mean, they were dominated start to finish. Gordon stupidly got himself sent off and they were down to 10 men, but they found a way.
Yeah.
They found a way, and they won the game. And, somebody this weekend, well, maybe not, but somebody could lose their unbeaten record because we've won our first two, they've won our first two. Both of us are kind of like the favourites at the moment for the league this season. It was 1 and 2 the last season.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on the game?
What's the boxing saying? Someone's always got to go.
Someone always got to go, yeah. Let's say it's a draw.
But it could be a draw. But I think both teams this early on in the season, because there's nothing definitive coming off the back of it, we lose, the title race is not over. They lose, the title race ain't even begun.
No.
So I think both clubs need to go for it. Both clubs need to click. I think, we've both got 6 out of 6 points. The only two with Tottenham that have done it so far, but Tottenham have probably been the most impressive over the 2 games ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool.
To be fair, yeah.
We've both been underwhelming. We've been underwhelming maybe in terms of the attack, especially against United. They've been underwhelming defensively. Yeah. Against both Bournemouth and Newcastle, conceding goals, and Konate's looked a mess.
Our attack in the first game.
Yeah, and the first half of the Leeds game, but then the second half we turned up. First half of the Leeds game.
First 30 minutes
37.
Or so. He's always got to go at 37. We weren't under. We scored 5 goals.
No. We wasn't under pressure on that. But the first half against Leeds, it was still a bit. That's a bit of a.
Yeah, but
slog.
it was one of those games that it was always going to be where that first goal goes in. Yeah, but I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. It was a slow...
Last season, how many times did we dominate for 20, 30 minutes, then the other team go and have a shot, our keeper makes a save, and then we think to ourselves, how many saves has their keeper made? That's what happened against Leeds. We dominated 30 minutes, we had little opportunities, but then they had the header from the corner. Yeah. Ryan makes the save, and then we click into... Yeah. So you're right, about 30 minutes, give or take. But
But I'd say it's a very accurate assessment in that, with our first game, and it was a very... some people said we were a bit fortunate to get away with the 3 points for that game, but it was a big win to go away. And the same with them, they're very fortunate to get away with the win, but it's a big win because they've got that Newcastle away out of the way now.
Massive, yeah.
And it's a huge win. So this is going to be a huge game. Do you feel, right? I mean, is it a good time to be playing Liverpool in that they haven't got everything together yet? And it's looking like they're going to get Isak as well, right? So you don't want to be going away there. They've got Isak as well. But they were, obviously that wouldn't be in time for the game on Sunday. Is it a good time to be playing for us?
Yeah. Big up Newcastle for holding off on the Isak stuff until after we play them as well. Appreciate that. Because you're right, going Anfield is one thing. Going Anfield with Liverpool on top of getting Isak is another thing. Isak's been a top striker in the league, so you'd want to play Liverpool without that striker that's bagged 20 goals a season on top of everything else they have. So that fact alone, it's definitely a good time to play them. When you look at the way they've started this season, they're in a transition. The transition started last summer, really, with Slot coming in, but they managed to, with the winners they have and the history, the up and downs with Man City over the last season, they managed to pull a title out the bag, well deserved as well. They ran away with it, but they're still in a transition. And this summer, I think when you look at the profiles they brought in and the profiles they lost, especially Trent. A lot of their creativity came from Trent. Now it needs to come from Wirtz. Frimpong's come in. He's got injured in one game, so they got a right back issue. So they're still, like you said, finding their feet. So as much as I've looked at us and we need to get, start clicking in the transition a bit more, I look at them and think defensively in particular and in midfield across the first two games, there's something to be got there. And I'm not usually, I won't say I'm confident going to Anfield, but I'm calm going to Anfield. And I think
last couple seasons, I mean, listen, we haven't won, but we 2-0 down last season, came back. Previous season we drew as well. Mm-hmm. That was the game with Odegaard when they reckon Odegaard should have been.
Oh, the handball.
Handball, but we drew that game, didn't we?
Yeah.
We haven't won there for if we could get a win
2012.
there. And is that how long? Yeah, you're right.
Was that a Van Persie volley or what?
Yeah, no, it was Giroud.
I
don't know, man. So long ago.
I remember Song over the. Actually, you're right. It wouldn't be that one. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like you said. The defence has been, the 2 games I've watched them, man.
Yeah.
Like, Kanate in particular has looked dodgy, man. He's normally such a good defender. Last year, that partnership was brilliant, but it's looked a little suspect. Mm-hmm. Could Gyökeres kind of get in, stuck into them a little bit? Of course, the thing is, no Saka. That's going to be a big miss for Arsenal. I mean, I know a lot of people haven't really said a lot about it. But for me, he's still our best player, and you want him in that game. We weren't there last year either, by the way, when we played them, but no Saka's going to be a big miss.
He's been our best player for years now. The saving grace is that we feel now, or the majority of us feel now, that we're well equipped to deal with injuries. Any other year, if Saka goes down injured, we're like, whatever we've got on the line, it's done. Because we can't, turn this around. We haven't got enough. Last year, Nwaneri popped in. He'd done his thing. But a 17, 18-year-old, it's not ideal. This year now, I mean, as soon as Saka went off, Madueke goes to the right. And he has his best 10, 15 minutes
on that right, didn't he?
In an Arsenal shirt, which is not many minutes he's had in an Arsenal shirt, but he looked comfortable.
Yeah.
He was beating his fullback, getting the ball into the box. So that gives you a bit of optimism. And then the Eze stuff as well. When Eze was walking onto the pitch the other day before the Leeds game, I thought, Anfield, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres, the front three. And then lo and behold, Arsenal's luck, Saka walks off injured, but Eze's still there. So I think the importance of starting Eze has grown, in my opinion. I think you need to start him now.
Yeah.
Because
where would you start him? Because, listen, at the time of us filming this, we don't know how Odegaard's going to be yet. If Odegaard's fit, do you still... Well, where would you play him? Where would you play him first?
I'll play Eze on the left.
Okay.
I'll play Eze on the left.
All right. So...
But I think he's better central, it's just centrally, I think that if Odegaard's fit, okay, but I'd still entertain Nwaneri. I think against Leeds...
Nwaneri did well against Leeds.
I think so. You know, part of the reason why the tempo ramped up, because I think that's a big difference between Odegaard and Nwaneri, the tempo they play in. When Nwaneri gets the ball, he is so direct. He'll pass forward and move forward with the ball. When Odegaard gets it, he'll pass forward, but he'll linger and more oversee the situation. So when Nwaneri came on against Leeds, pass, move, the second goal even came from a pass and move pattern of play from Nwaneri. So I looked at that performance, the new contract, and I think even if Odegaard's 90, 80% fit, why not bring in a Nwaneri?
You lose the press though, innit? You lose, not that you lose the press, but Odegaard helps that sort of defensive process with his press. You'd lose that, but I hear you on that. I know you're saying play Eze from the start there, but Martinelli, every time we play Liverpool, he always puts in a good game.
It's true.
Didn't play last week, should be fresh, Just got into the Brazilian team
Why
again.
didn't he play last week? That was weird.
It was weird. But
I thought we was going to get him moved. But
could he start in that game? Because he always does well against Liverpool. You know, sometimes you've got a team where...
This stretches back to that 5-5 we had in the Carabao Cup. And he scored a couple, I think.
He's always a threat at Liverpool, man. He's always a threat.
Klopp always spoke highly of him.
And we haven't really tried the Eze thing yet. Or obviously they'd have been training this week. But then...
Martinelli's weird. It's a weird one. Because I said the same thing against United. I said, if we was playing Leeds, Brentford, Wolves on the opening day, I'd say Madueke starts on the left, just to freshen things up. Because it's Man United, I said, start Martinelli, because big games... he does tend to turn up, or at least his work rate in the big games can help you win it. But then against United, he was poor. Then he doesn't play a minute against Leeds. So I'm looking at like, okay, what's going on here? Because, you know, we made 5 subs against Leeds and he wasn't even one of them. But then the week before that, Trossard didn't come off the bench. So I guess this is the depth we talk about. You know, sometimes players ain't going to... Should Martinelli start this one? I get the argument for it. I just think the hype around Eze right now, I'd rather him get acclimatised from minute 1 than come off the bench.
It'd be exciting to see Eze from the start.
Yeah. I'm on him
Eze,
starting.
So all right, let's go to team. So we know the back four is going to Timber, because I think who would you go left back? Because remember, then you got we're talking about our threats. We forgot about the threat the league. The main threat of any team in the league is Salah, who's very quiet against Newcastle, but he ain't normally quiet a lot.
No.
He's very quiet in the first game as well, but he still scored.
That's what he does.
Is it a Mars Lewis Skelly job to try and deal with him, or do you go Calafiori?
It's mad because this is probably the first time ever, out of the 3 options, I wouldn't mind either. The 3, I mean Calafiori, Mars Lewis Skelly or Timber to play left back. How often can we say that? And that just testament to Arteta's squad building defensively, because we can play any which player and we're still confident. Lee said play Timber left back because he's our best one-on-one defender. I agree.
Who plays right back? Because
Ben White's not been...
Ben White's out. So
if Ben White was fully fit, I'd probably go Timber left back, Ben White right back. Because he's not, and Calafiori's been our top player in the first 2 games. 2 assists, 1 goal, 2 clean sheets. He probably deserves the spot. But Lewis Skelly's a better one-on-one defender than him. So there's so many arguments to be had. I think Man United in Boma had a lot of space on Calafiori's side, but he did nothing with it. Salah's a different beast.
Space,
so,
and they would have had a look at that.
Yeah. I think Lewis Skelly does. You see, as much as Calafiori deserves his spot, Lewis Skelly didn't deserve to lose his spot.
Yeah.
So I don't mind, bro.
I think I'll go Lewis Skelly, man, just because of the threat of what's coming there, man. And
only thing with Lewis Skelly is, you know, the way he plays. Some of these experienced players, winners,
pick up a yellow or something.
You know, like you know the way Kudus won the ball back from him last season against West Ham, halfway line, where you know Miles likes to get physical and protect the ball, and then if you lose the ball in that situation, you're pissed. Liverpool will look to thrive off that, but I agree with you. I'd probably go Lewis Skelly. Yeah,
I'll probably go Lewis Skelly. So Lewis Skelly, midfield we know. All right, so Zubimendi, Rice.
I said Nwaneri.
And Nwaneri if he's fit. If I think Odegaard starts if he's fit, but Nwaneri, let's say, and then Madueke.
Right. Yep.
Gyökeres.
Yep.
But it's that left-hand side.
It's Eze for me.
Eze.
Martinelli, Trossard.
You know the other thing is as well. I'm just a bit worried about as much as we want to impose ourselves on that game and that. It's the Salah thing, man.
Yeah.
Worries me, man. Sometimes you need a man to double up, get back. I think I'd start Martinelli, you know, and bring just as I know it's being a bit cautious, but it is Anfield. You've been there, I've been there. You know that place. It's going to be on fire on the weekend.
Martinelli suits Lewis Skelly more because Lewis Skelly's going to come inside and then the left is more exposed. Calafiori probably suits Eze more because he's going to overlap and then Eze can cut in. So
I just think as a sensible thing, just because of who we're playing, man, we have to respect them so much because they're the champions. And then that guy, Salah, he's so dangerous. I think we just have to... And they got danger on both wings, and Gakpo on the other one. I think just the work rate just to start off with, and then you get Eze on later on in the game. That would just be me. But you guys out there, let us know what team you'd start with. Shame we haven't got Saka in the game. But then also, like you said, they've got no Frimpong.
McAllister's just coming back.
McAllister's just coming back. Conor Bradley's been, so it's going to be an interesting game, man. Because like you said, both teams have had one game where they've sort of fired, the other game where they've not. Liverpool 2 games in a row now where they've been in front by 2 goals and thrown it away. And remember, last year they were 2 up against us and threw that away as well. So can they be got at? That's going to be the really interesting thing to see. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was transfers. Now, bro, I don't know, man. This transfer window has been mad. Like, I have to be wondering, is this Arsenal?
Hopefully the new Arsenal.
Hopefully the new Arsenal. Do you think this is all down to Andrea Berta? Like, the change that we've seen in this transfer window? Or do you just think we had to do this? What's your feeling on it?
I'm not going to put it all on Berta because then people will feel Arteta's hard done. But I think Arteta's definitely played a part. I think Arteta knows the demand now is to win. And he just signed a big contract. The pressure's ramped up on him as well. He's no longer that apprentice. Last summer was a joke. January was a bigger joke. So we had to really we had to prove to the fans this summer that the ambition is there. We had to prove to the manager the ambition. So I think all in all, I think everyone's played their part. But Berta's execution is on another level to an Edu. Edu was always inexperienced coming in, and that was the worry with him. 2 inexperienced people, Arteta and Edu, coming in to run the club. They both did their thing in some way, shape or form, but by the end of it, the Edu situation seemed a bit sour, stale. I don't know what caused it. We don't know the ins and outs. But to get Berta in, I always said, you know what, if I'm looking at a list of sporting directors, Berta's around the top, and it's not often Arsenal go for the top of any list. So when they brought him in, I thought, we've got a man that's executed at the highest level over the last 10 years. So there's no more, come the end of the window, it's Edu having a barbecue. It's Berta. There's no Berta having a barbecue. He's done his thing at Atletico Madrid for years, won along the way, brought in big players, sold big players. So he's done his business. And we've followed through with that. And, we've had some deals that have dragged. We've had a couple deals that I've looked at and said, what the hell are we doing? But as a whole, when you look at the window now and with this latest Hincapié news, and we're very active. We're very robust in the way we are moving, especially the business end of the transfer window. Because a couple of weeks ago when Eze was going Tottenham, I was fuming. I was saying our windows are 5, 6 out of 10. We're allowing quality profiles to go elsewhere. And then bang, we step in for Eze, and now it looks like we're doing a move for a defender, a good defender at that.
Good defender, good, can play centre back, can play left back. Very competitive player, but also a very good player, very good on the ball. That's a good signing. And again, as a player that Tottenham wanted, and again, he's gone in and he's shown all his experience that he's used over the years at, Atletico. Number 1, to identify players. But number 2, to execute it, man. And I think he's been brilliant. He's a lot of the signings have been down to him, definitely.
Yeah.
And a lot of the way we pulled it off. Not the usual way Arsenal do stuff. Like, he's moved pretty stealth in that you don't always know what his next move is. And then he's been very decisive in his moves. I mean, even with this, I don't think he would have moved for this Hincapié one if the Kivior.
Yeah,
so they knew that Kivior's sort of thinking, I might go. Bang, all right, see you later. We're in for someone else. I like it.
It's proactive.
Over the years, we would have left ourselves short. And what I give Arteta credit for, I hope I'm giving to him. I hope it's to do with him. I'm sure it's a joint thing, right? They knew they messed up last year. They've got to know that, right? Yeah. Because they tried to do this let's go for a small squad thing. I've heard Pep talk about it a lot. A small squad, get everybody playing right. It didn't work last year. It cost us the league. I mean, Liverpool may have won it anyway, but it cost us the league because we had injuries and we could never, ever replace them with the same sort of standard of players. We kind of got lucky last year that a couple of our youngsters in Mars Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri came in and did so well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And also Mikel Merino. If those 3 players...
True.
Saved Arsenal like skin last year, when you really think about it, right? Because they came in and they did way, way, way above expectations. And you can't afford, and we've already seen it this year, injuries. We're 2 games in.
3-man down.
Right? Saka's out. Havertz is out. Right? And
Odegaard,
Ben White's out.
Ben White, 4-man.
Right? These are big players. And all of a sudden, we're going to Liverpool, like you said right at the start, and we're like, all right, Saka's a miss, but we've got Madueke. We know he's not as good as Saka, but he's an England international. He's an impressive player in that position. But yeah, we know he can do a job there, right? Wanyeri can definitely replace, he can replace Koppelman, and he can replace Odegaard there, you know. Bought in Eze now. I mean, you've got play. I mean, all right, Timber can come in for Ben White. I mean, all of a sudden, that's what we didn't have last year. When those players were missing last year, we were like, oh.
Yeah.
And you went into them games, even just mentally on a downer, even as players probably. Because players, listen, they know the quality of players that are playing around them.
Yeah.
Even for them. Right?
100%.
But as I said, players even Kivior last year was another overachiever that saved us.
Stepped in.
You can't just keep going on like that. You've got to put a squad in place that can deal with this. When you look at, even yesterday, the Champions League draw, that's what I was saying. I was chatting to a Chelsea fan the other day, and he was going, oh yeah, I think we're going to win this. And I said, listen, this is a different to last year for you guys. Because last year, you could basically play your kids, play whatever in that Conference League. You didn't even register certain players like Cole Palmer and that until you got to the semi-final, right? And then you just had a free run. In the league, you could play your strongest team. You could play almost like a B team, and you can't do that, especially under this new format. Look at the teams we've got. Bayern, Inter, that's all our first couple of games.
Yeah.
Then on the weekend, you got to go to away to certain teams. So the squad needed to have happened couple of seasons ago, and it didn't. So at least they've learnt from that, and they've said, right, we need a stronger squad. Because already, as we said already, Havertz, knee surgery.
Yeah. 2 months out.
So if we hadn't bought no one in then, no one, you know?
That's why it's important to always refresh, especially the attack. The attack is what gives the fans wings, you know, and the players as well. You know, it's all good and well signing defenders, and we've come a long way defensively, but that Eze signing, like, if you could just erase the Eze signing from your mind and think about Liverpool this Sunday, it's peak. No Saka, we haven't signed Eze. We're struggling here. We're going to assume it's a loss because of the situation. But that one signing of an Eze means that, all right, Saka's out. That's our, star man. But at the same time, we've got Eze now. So he's out. Eze, you step up. On Ranieri, you've stepped in. You step up. So now we've got hope around Saka. And that's the main thing for me, because for years we've just put it all on Saka. Martinelli's regressed, Odegaard's regressed, and the striker situation's never been ideal. Now we've got Gyökeres up top. I haven't even mentioned him yet. He's off the back of 2 goals. If he looks at the way Liverpool played the first 2 games, what I expect from him, knowing what I know over the last few months mentally, I expect him to be licking his lips at this battle now. Maybe not against Van Dijk. Van Dijk's different, but against Konate. If he can peel off and move towards Konate a little bit more.
Channels when they get some players
work with Eze, because Konate is the right-sided centre-back for Liverpool. So Eze and Gyökeres on this side and attacking Konate a bit. They got right-back problems. So now we're looking at it in a much different... But like I said, it's just that one Eze signing. And that's how important one man can be, one profile can be. It can be the difference between, we're fucked on Sunday, to, Saka's out, but we can still do it. That's what the difference of Eze brings. So... Big up the club for eventually doing what they needed to do.
Eventually is true.
Yeah,
eventually
we waited
is
a
the
little
word.
while. I mean, 20 years at the Emirates we've been, but we're here now. So long may it continue.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not going to ask you what you score it out of 10. I'm going to leave that until after the transfer window closes. We'll do another one of these, and we'll get a lowdown on the window. But looking forward to the game. It's a massive game at the weekend. Like Turkish said, it doesn't decide nothing, but it's an indicator. It's an indicator earlier on in the season in where we're heading, where they're heading. Well, they could have Isak and Mark Gay as well. I mean, also, it's going to be interesting to find out at the end of this who's had the best window, because a lot of teams have made some very good signings. So we'll speak more about that next week. But let's get into now unfiltered opinions.
We got our first one in. Why do fans have to be Arteta in or out? Why can't fans just support the club? I tend to agree in terms of the in and out thing.
I hate the in and out
I
thing.
played a part of it originally with Wenger, but since then it's just become its own beast. Just in football in general, this person out, that person.
Yeah,
out.
even in other fan bases, I see it at the moment with United fans, Amarin or Amarout, and all this stuff.
And just 10 months ago, it was Ten Hag out trending. So
yeah.
Within a year.
I don't like this. You got to be in a category. At the end of the day, your mind can change. Even if you're a fan who said, you know what, I want Arteta out at the end of last season. You may have changed your mind now and said, actually, no, I think he deserves another chance. So, no, let me keep him in, but he has to win something. Say something like that. But this thing where you're either in one camp or the other, I don't like it. I don't like it. And then you get people, they jump into one camp. Then say the team's playing well. Say it was Arteta out. They feel like they have to stick to that because they nailed it. No, to me, you can change your mind. You can say, you know, I love what Arteta's doing, but then if you say he lost 4 or 5 games on the trot, you could be like, actually, I've changed my mind, man. Maybe this guy ain't the one for me. But this sort of thing where you're labelled in a camp, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I try and be balanced with it all. Sometimes I'm frustrated. Sometimes I'm happy. I criticise. I praise. And that's just my way of supporting and being a football fan in general.
I think you support your club. You have your opinion. You know what I mean? I never look at someone, say, for instance, because I've not been in the Arteta out camp. I still believe this guy can win or something, right? Although I do believe he needs to hurry up and do it. But I don't look at someone who's in the out camp. Like say someone like a Yardman, right? I don't look at Yardman and say he doesn't support the club. I know he supports the club. I know he's desperate for this club to win things. His approach is just different. You know what I mean? And you got to allow people to have their opinions. But I don't like you got to be in a camp. And as I said, I just feel some people.
Yeah, so it's the hot
they're
question.
Stuck.
Yeah, in or out. I'm tired of it. That's why people don't tend to ask me anymore. You know, I give my opinion. Whether you think that's in or out, I couldn't care less.
Yeah. All right, let's get the next question up. If we win the league or Champions League this season, we want to see Robbie and Turkish do a skydive. Deal?
No deal. How am I going to jump out of a plane when we finally win the league? I don't get it. Man, waited 20 years.
What have we got to do a skydive for? That should be Arteta or someone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What are we doing it for? We can't even play a part.
Imagine that. We win a league and then 2 days later I'm jumping out of a plane.
I'll probably feel to jump out of a plane. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'll be on top of the world if we won.
This wasn't even production. Stop sending your own comments in as well, man. Leave it to the community. Let's get the next one.
Yeah, I bet that sounds very Ryan. A very Ryan one, wasn't it?
Definitely, I put all my money on it. If Harry Kane joined Arsenal instead of Bayern, would already have a Premier League title. True.
You know what? I think that could be true, man. Because I think he's so... Listen, as much as we didn't like him over the years, right? We didn't dislike him as a person. We disliked him because he played for Tottenham and he's very, very, very good. That's the truth of the matter.
He banged against us.
He always scored against us. He'll score against everybody. He's absolutely clinical. I remember one time I said, at first I didn't think he was really world class. I just think he was a good goal scorer. But then after a while, I had to admit, he's world class. He's just done it consistently over too long a period of time. And I think if he would have been in Arsenal's team, the way the guy's so clinical, we would have done.
We would have.
You think not last season before, if you had like a Harry Kane in the team, look how close we were to City.
Yeah. Even last year.
He would have turned a few games that we drew.
Even last
year when we drew all them games. We didn't lose a lot of games, did we? Yeah. We don't lose loads of games. But we don't draw games. He's a sort of guy, it's a tight game. He scores.
Yeah, he's guaranteed. In terms of strikers in football now, he's one of the guaranteed ones. And by that, I mean 20 league goals, 30. I see something Bayern put 90 goals he scored for Bayern. It's been 2 years.
It's insane. His goal scoring record's insane.
I actually said let's go for Kane when he was available.
Yeah, he would never have come, would he?
I don't know what he would have done, but Tottenham...
Maybe if Bert would have been around.
Yeah, Tottenham wouldn't have accepted the deal. That's the only problem. But
I wonder if he would have even... after what Sol Campbell's gone through, he would have seen that.
Yeah, but if he came over and trumped and we won a league title, that would have been, in this social media age, it takes a lot to trump that soul move, but that would have...
Boy, he'd be like, I don't know, man, that's a dangerous move. Look at Sol Campbell still getting grief all these years.
To this day. But yeah, we would have. I think we would have won the last two with Kane in our side.
Yeah.
Turkish, you owe the Cronkies an apology for this window. Give them credit. Another Ryan one. I don't need to apologise. It's the first time they've stepped up, in my opinion. Actually, second time. I think the Rice summer as well, they stepped up. Second time in 20 years, I think that's not a great ratio. But if it's the second time in a list of many to come moving forward, then I can hold my hands up.
Yeah, it's not, to me, I mean, I was chatting, Julian was trying to say something like this to me the other day about Wyatt fans singing their name. I said, listen, man, they still got a lot to earn. There is no doubt in the last few seasons, right, they have backed the manager financially and in the transfer window, although I was still upset in January because they made a decision not to go for it, right? So that, for me, now they are stepping up. You cannot argue with this transfer window at all. Right, they bought Berta in as well. They're looking like they want to win things, which is, at last, that's good. The last 3 seasons, they're moving in the right direction, but I don't think there's nothing to apologise for the previous times, like you said, because the previous times still happened and they didn't do enough. And there was a reason why. It's pretty obvious now why they didn't do enough, because them and Usmanov were in dispute and they didn't want to do anything until he was gone. And so, no, I don't. Listen, let's go and win something. Let's go and win a title or something like that, and then we can start. And I don't think it's an apology. I think it's then you start to build an acceptance where you start to say, well, actually, because everyone deserves a second chance. All right, we didn't like you down there, but actually, we like what you're doing now. I think that's what it is. But
they've got a lot to apologise for themselves.
Yeah, I think they could apologise for the previous times.
Yeah, even Sterling last year. I'm still waiting for that one. So we hold tight on my apology. They've still got a long list of things I need to talk to them about. But yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's it, and we don't actually have an archive one today. So I don't know what happened to Ryan on that. We don't have an archive one to bring you, but what we are going to do, we'll come back next week because, of course, the transfer window is closing.
Do you know the archive one should have been me, Anfield, Wenger out, the shirt backwards? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Arsenal Fan TV, I don't need to ask where you stand.
This didn't come out till the third goal went in. I don't want to bring this out. I actually respect what he originally done for us. I respect him for that. But it's over.
So for you, as I said, it's a stupid question to ask you because I can tell by your shirt.
He needs to come out today. He needs to come out today, tomorrow, and say you're leaving. This won't come out again. No one will bring out banners for the rest of the year. We will support this fucking team till the end if he just comes out and clarifies the situation. That's all we want from him.
And I remember Ty and Claude were arguing. On their fan cam, and obviously I don't know none of you man at this point. Ty goes to, you know how Ty is. He goes to Claude. Ask him. Talking about Wenger. I turned to Ty, I said, how's he going to ask Wenger anything? Ty looked at me and said, who are you? Well, I remember that. That was my induction into this world.
Oh, my days. You never looked back since. But yeah, listen, we'll be back next week. Transfer window is going to close. And also, maybe we take a little look back at, how things have gone so far. 3 games in. We'd also been able to look at other teams as well, see what they're doing. See what sort of shape we're in to try and win this league. So join us on the next Gunners Unfiltered.
They can't hold me, hustle like I bag groceries. Get rich off this even if my mouth wired till the wheels burn no matter how tired. They can't hold me, hustle like I bag groceries. Get rich off this even if my mouth wired till the wheels burn no matter how tired.
GFN Soccer TV, with all your favourite shows in one place, is now live in the UK with Samsung TV Plus.